Welcome back. Let's see how these build your understanding problems went. We're going to take the natural log on both sides. That way the e gets canceled out, bringing the 3x down out of the exponent. We isolate the x by dividing out by 3. And I get approximately negative 0.231. For the next one, again, we start by taking natural logs on both sides. So we have 2 minus x equals the ln of 3. Okay, I'm going to add negative 2 to both sides. Or you can subtract 2 from both sides. Just remember that the ln of 3 minus 2 is not the same thing as ln of 1. Because when you write ln of 3 minus 2 like that, it really means do the ln of 3 first and then subtract 2. Okay, anyway, the last thing we need to do is divide or multiply both sides by negative 1 so that we have an x, not a minus x. And if I do that, I'll have x equals 2 minus ln of 3, which works out to be about 0.901. Okay, moving on. We're going to next talk about solving more complicated exponential expressions. And there's something we need to do before we do the ln thing, and that is we need to first isolate the exponential expression. And what I mean by the exponential expression is e to whatever the exponent is. In other words, we first need to get the equation into the form e to an exponent equals a number, and only then can we take the ln of both sides. And just starting with example 12, just to give you some idea of what would happen if I started here, taking the ln of both sides as they are. First of all, on the right-hand side, that log doesn't exist, right? We can't take the natural log of a negative number. But also, this is not the same as the ln of 1 minus the ln of e to the 3x. So that 1 in there and the minus sign stops us from being able to get the exponent down out of the exponent, and you can't deal with it by splitting it apart because that just is not the way logs work. So that's why we have to start by isolating the exponential expression. So let's subtract a 1 from both sides to work on getting the e to the 3x by itself. That'll give me e to the 3x, negative e to the 3x equals negative 6. I've just got to keep going. I don't have plain old e to the 3x. I've got a minus in front, so I can't stop there. I've got to multiply or divide both sides by negative 1. That'll give me e to the 3x equals 6. And now I can take the logs on both sides. Because we got the e to the 3x all by itself. So now doing that, I'll have ln of e to the 3x equals ln of 6. And now there's nothing interfering with the ln canceling the e. So I get 3x equals the ln of 6. So x equals ln of 6 divided by 3. Quick caution here. The 6 is inside the log. It cannot see that 3 down in the exponent. This is not the same thing as ln of 2. You've got to do the ln first and then divide by 3. And if we do that, we get about 0.597. All right, let's try another of the more complicated ones. Let's solve 2 e to the 1 minus 0.79x equals 3. Again, we're going to have problems if we take the ln right now, because the e to the exponent is not alone on one side of the equation. The problem here is that that 2 is in the way. So these don't cancel because of the 2. Okay, so let's start by dividing both sides by 2. That gives us that e to the 1 minus 0.79x equals 1.5. So taking the log on both sides, and letting the ln and the e cancel each other, we get 1 minus 0.79x equals the ln of 1.5. Let's subtract a 1 from both sides. So I get 0.79x equals, and I like to put the negative 1 in front of the ln just to avoid visual confusion. And then we'll divide out the negative 0.79. Leaving us just an x on the left. And we get x is about 0.753. I didn't type this on here, but I want to give you one more caution about taking logs on both sides. Suppose we had, suppose one side of the equation was ln of e to the x minus 2. Because of that minus 2 inside the log, these, again, are not going to cancel. So these don't cancel. You really, truly have to have nothing on the one side except e to a power. Let's give you guys a chance to practice this. Just one build your understanding problem. Go ahead and try solving 3e to the 2x minus 1 equals 11 before you watch the next video, and of course I'll go over that with you at the beginning of the next video. See you then.